So congratulations, Miss Buchanan. As we've said many, many times, I think that when you win Teacher of the Year here at Raider Nation, it's such an honor because we have an amazing staff, and to be recognized amongst a group of outstanding professionals is certainly a huge accomplishment and recognition on your part. Being a former chemistry teacher, I'm a little partial, I guess, to science, as that's always going to be a piece of my heart. And I have always enjoyed coming in and watching you teach chemistry. It brings back great memories for me. And you know, I tell people that when I'm having a bad day, I've got to find somewhere to go. And so one of the places that I like to go is to your classroom, and to just stand outside the door and listen, or perhaps just walk in and sit down in the back of the room and watch kids learning about a subject that of course I'm very passionate about and enjoyed teaching throughout my career. The one thing that I will say about Miss Buchanan that certainly I believe is one of her finer and most outstanding attributes is that she always puts kids first. And if you look at the interactions that she has with kids and the lasting relationships she has, I think she's making an impact on kids' lives that will never ever be forgotten. Congratulations, Susan.
Ms. Buchanan, thank you so much for allowing me to get water in your classroom. It was just nice to have an excuse to come in and see you, which made my day brighter. Ms. Buchanan is such a great teacher because she helps you understand what you're working on. She can explain it in different ways to make it easier to understand. I know Ms. Buchanan cares about her students because she's always asking them how they are. She cares. You can just the way she conducts herself, you can tell that she cares about each student individually. I really enjoyed getting to do all the labs in Ms. Buchanan's class, especially when we did anything that would blow up or like expand. Ms. Buchanan is such a caring teacher. She cares about each individual student and how they're doing in her class and outside of the classroom.
When I learned that Susan Buchanan was our Teacher of the Year, I was thrilled. Not just because she is one of my closest friends, but because she is definitely one of the best teachers I have ever known in my whole career. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, Susan has that elusive teacher presence that we all would like to have. When she talks in her teacher voice, people hang on to her every word, whether it's students in her chemistry class or chatty teachers at a haiku workshop or academic team, it doesn't matter. She exudes competence and confidence. Students love her because she has high expectations and she makes them very clear. When you enter her classroom, there's an atmosphere of mutual respect, but you definitely know who is in control. Susan is a consummate collaborator. When she first came to Reagan, she had to teach anatomy, and she had never taught that, and she wasn't thrilled about it, but I helped her because that's what I had been doing, and it was kind of fun when I got to go and help her dissect eyeballs because she was pretty squeamish about that. But after that, in the years that have followed, we have collaborated on many projects, and I've seen her collaborate with a lot of other people too. Recently, we were both co-adjunct professors for the Wake Forest students, teachers in science, and that offered me a window into Susan's thinking process because we had to develop the curriculum completely on our own. She is highly organized, and she has a remarkable way of looking at the big picture but breaking it down into small pieces which are easily understood. Another reason that she's a great collaborator is because she's very creative and comes up with great ideas, but she also values the contributions of the other people who are collaborating with her. Not only does she collaborate, Susan takes the lead in offering staff development and help to other teachers. She is a technology guru and has taught many classes, enabling other teachers to use the various parts of haiku that we are not as familiar with. She even helped our new data manager with a problem that nobody else could solve. Having shared a classroom with her during planning, I know how kind Susan is and considerate. There was hardly a day that hardly a day went by in which somebody didn't come in there and ask her for help with technology. And she was always gracious, always helpful, and never complained. Many days, people would call her and ask her to cover classes. Again, she never complained. She never said no. When a couple years ago, when the student in charge, maybe it was just last year, when the student in charge or teacher in charge of freshman orientation resigned during the summer, Susan stepped up and planned the entire event. Another time, she was asked to change her entire schedule on the night of open house. So instead of having all what she thought she was going to have, she had a completely different prep. She truly is willing to help others in any way that she can. But no matter how much she helps other people or what else she does around the school, her students come first. Chemistry is a challenging subject, and every morning that Susan doesn't have a conference, she is in that room tutoring students, trying to help them to learn this difficult subject. She focuses on mastery, and she has multiple methods of helping her students to achieve it. Regardless of race, gender identity, skill level, whatever it is, Susan helps them to do their best. They want to do well for her because they know she believes in them and she will help them in any way that she can. She has a way of making you feel like you are important, and that is what students will remember about her. The fact that she believes in them and believes that they can accomplish whatever it is that they want to achieve. This is the essence of a great teacher, and this is why Susan Buchanan is our Teacher of the Year.
She always was sure to have fun in class and make learning fun, so you wouldn't get tired of anything, or even if something was hard to understand, she would walk you through it and take her time and take the time you needed to teach it to you so you could really understand and learn it. And she was just always in a good mood, and you'd always be in a good mood because you'd come in and just get to have fun with her, not even feel like you're in a class. She would always be there for me if I asked a question or I needed tutoring, and she made the time for me and never gave up on me, so I really appreciated all she did to make sure I got good grades, but also understood things in class, didn't just go through the motions, and I had fun doing it. Miss Buchanan cares so much because she just puts them first, and no matter what's going on, if you're having a good day or bad, she's there to give you a hug and make everything better and just put a smile on your face. Miss Buchanan has been one of my favorite teachers all throughout high school since I had her in junior year, because she was a mom first in a way and then a teacher, and she really cared about us inside and outside of the classroom. And she did a lot for me personally, and I just couldn't thank her enough for all she did.
I want to congratulate Susan Buchanan on Teacher of the Year. She definitely deserves it. She's so hardworking and always makes sure that her students do the best and try to succeed.
Miss Buchanan's a great teacher because she's so focused on her kids, and if you're struggling with something, she'll put in so much effort to help you. And the thing I liked most about her class was that if I was ever struggling with anything, she would take time outside of class to help me. She goes out of her way to make science exciting, so whenever there's a boring-ish chemistry subject or biology subject, she finds some way to make it interesting and make your students involved in it. There was a time that I got a 10 on a chemistry test, and I had no idea what was going on, and after 10 minutes of work with her, I ended up getting 100 when I retook it. Miss Buchanan cares about her students because in class, if you're ever struggling with something or you don't know the answer, she doesn't go out of her way to get the answer out of you, but she guides you to it instead of trying to make you answer it.
When I think about Susan Buchanan, the word generosity comes to mind. She is as generous with her time and talent as she is gifted in the classroom. A particular example comes to mind. A few years ago at open house, I was standing near Susan when a parent came over, threw her arms around Susan, and thanked her profusely for helping her son pass chemistry. She said that Susan did not give up on her son, and she was so grateful because she believes that Susan was instrumental in his success. And Susan is not just instrumental in the success of students, she also helps out teachers I can think of many times when she helped me and the Latin program, with the most recent being, even though I'm retired now, I was in charge of the state NCJCL Latin convention about a month ago, and Susan was kind enough to help out for 2 days during total chaos when about 700 people from across the entire state of North Carolina converged upon Wake Forest. And Susan helped keep me calm and focused, and I truly appreciate that. Susan is not just a student's teacher, but she's also a teacher's teacher. Susan, best wishes and congratulations on a well-deserved.
What I liked about Miss Buchanan's class was that she was always really interactive with her students. She's really loving, and you can tell that she genuinely cares about her kids. In class, Miss Buchanan would always use a lot of different labs and visual things to help us learn, which I really enjoyed because I am a visual learner. So that was just really helpful in helping me learn and all of my classmates learn as well. You can always tell that Miss Buchanan cared about her students. She was always asking to see how you were, just making sure you were having a good day. And if you weren't, she was always there to have a shoulder to cry on. She was just a great teacher overall. In the classroom, Miss Buchanan was always really bubbly and inspiring. Her outgoing personality was always uplifting on hard days and on good days as well. She was just very motivating in us getting our work done, and not only her class, but other classes that we were taking.
Growing up, I got to watch my mom bring work home and work really, really hard, bringing complicated problems and thousands of papers to grade. And seeing that as a kid, I couldn't grasp the scope of how hard it is to be a teacher and do what she does. And then it got to freshman year and I came to Reagan. I saw firsthand that even in tutoring, this is not an easy thing to learn, and it can't be an easy thing to teach because you have all kinds of different students. And then this year, I got to be one of those students, and I had the pleasure of sitting in on my mom's class and knowing what she has done for the past couple of years, and I can't believe that she has done this and is so successful, and I'm very proud of her, and I can't wait to see the next few years.
I'm really pleased that Reagan has made Susan their Teacher of the Year. That says a lot for her associates, says a lot for her. I've known and been proud of Susan for a very long time. I know she has great dedication to whatever she undertakes at school. She's always been a yes person, so much so that it takes a lot of her time. She's excellent with technology. She's excellent with chemistry and physics, and she's excellent with kids. She cares about the kids, and she wins their respect and their effort, as it shows with the work she does. So much so that they come back years later and they let her know what they're doing, and she's always writing recommendation letters for students that she's had in the past. So Susan's fondness for what she does really shows, and I appreciate everyone putting her forward with this recognition. I think she deserves it. I think she would deserve it multiple times. But we have a lot of great personnel at this school, and there should be more people sharing it, of course. But Susan is a standout, and I'm proud of her, and I just think that the kids are better for having had her, and that's about all I have to say.